And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We got a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/takesbyfans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Radio. So however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered multiple ways. Alrighty, today's a big old Monday, folks. We got training camp going off tomorrow, where we get the bulk of the teams. Tuesday, Wednesday, that's when training camp is truly going to get underway. So today we've got 3 more divisions to cover for our training camp narratives. What are we looking for? What do we want to see? What do we not want to see in training camp, so we can start buying into some more of these teams as we get closer to the start of the NFL season. So we'll be going over the AFC East, the AFC North, and the AFC West, doing the last 12 teams that we needed to do before training camp starts tomorrow. So that's what we've got today on the show. And then Tuesday, we will be back into our rhythm of doing a random team every single day, a team reset, refresher, if you will, to get us all on the same page for this upcoming NFL season. That's about like 40, I think we're at like 46, 47, something like that, days away from the start of the NFL season, folks. I mean, it's getting here, folks. It is getting here, and this week it's going to get crazy because all the training camps opening up, and we're going to get, who's going to report, who's not, who's looking good, who's looking trash, what are the rookies looking like. So you better buckle up, folks, because we are 24 hours away from the full entire swing of the NFL season getting right into high gear, folks. I'm ready to declare this. So let's just jump right into it with the stories of the day to get it rolling. We also do have a little bit of a another segment we have to do. We got Panini cards again. We missed last week's release. They sold out in 3 minutes, and unfortunately, we just couldn't get them. But today, we got the Panini NFT Blockchains Noir Sneaker Spotlight. Real cool cards, 1 insert in every pack, and we were able to cop 10 of those packs. Sold out in 2 minutes this week, folks. Truly crazy. So we will try to kind of open those today on the show. I know it's a packed show, but I think we can squeeze it in. So now, let's just jump right into it with the stories of the day. And the first one, folks, I mean, this one's pretty big, and I didn't think it was going to come to this, but here we are. So the Texans will listen to trade offers for Deshaun Watson. The quarterback reported to camp Sunday and reiterated that he wanted to be traded from Houston. So we've heard, in the offseason, a couple months ago, he wanted a trade, and then all of the sexual assault allegations came out about him, and then we didn't really hear anything from him for like the last month, and then we heard he was going to report to training camp, but he still wanted to trade, and now here we are. He's at training camp and once again reiterated that he wanted to be traded from the Houston Texans. And it seems like now the Texans are open to listening to offers and trying to move Deshaun Watson. I didn't think the Texans were actually going to do this. I mean, Deshaun Watson is an absolutely amazing talent, folks. We got to look at this man's stats because they are absolutely fantastic. Let's bring it up real quick. I mean, this man, when we're talking about dual threat quarterbacks, I think we put him above Lamar Jackson, easy peasy. We're talking about Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson are really the best 2 dual threat quarterbacks in this league. And I know I don't want to disrespect Russell Wilson. I'll disrespect Kyler Murray. We like Kyler Murray, but I still will disrespect him and put Deshaun Watson ahead of him. But I think we could put Deshaun Watson above Russell Wilson. Now, Russell Wilson's a great leader, and maybe in all those attributes, maybe we can put Russell Wilson as second best dual threat quarterback, rushing, passing in this league. Obviously, we have to still give Patrick Mahomes number 1 just because, he's been to back-to-back Super Bowls recently, won one, so we have to kind of put him as the cream of the crop so far. Now, that this can get, Patrick Mahomes can still go down, in the next couple of years, but as it stands right now, we do have to put Patrick Mahomes number 1 in best dual threat quarterback in the league right now. But Deshaun Watson, folks, at 6'2", 220, this man is explosive, elusive, and he's got a big, big, big arm, folks. So Deshaun Watson, number 2 best dual threat quarterback in this league, and that's why I really didn't think the Texans were going to trade this man. You don't trade Deshaun Watson, folks. He is a once-in-a-generation talent, folks. This man is absolutely fantastic. If you draft him, you make him the face of your franchise for however long he is able to play in the NFL. Is it 15 years like Big Ben and Drew Brees, or is it going to be like 30 years like Tom Brady? Whatever it is, you lock it up like the Chiefs locked up Mahomes for 10 years. Yes, sir. That's how you run an organization. That's how you run a business. You keep your main players under wraps the entire time. There is no thought of being traded. There is no thought of getting out of here. You are here forever. And I thought that's what the Texans were going to do, but now they're willing to listen to trade offers. So it's going to be really interesting to see where he goes and how much they can get for him, because we are going to talk about the trade value in just a second, but let's admire these stats. So here we go. Last season, they were absolutely trash. The team was trash, but Deshaun Watson was so gosh dang good, folks. I can't even look at these stats. They're so gosh dang good. Woo, are y'all ready? I mean, honestly, we should have given Deshaun Watson MVP. I'll say that right now. I've got no problem saying this, folks. It's just unfortunate the overall team of the Texans was absolutely dumpster. Went 4-12, but these are the stats. Are y'all ready, folks? If you are standing up, you better sit down quickly, folks, because this is going to take your breath away. So here we go. Completion percentage. Are y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for this? Introducing Deshaun Watson's completion percentage from 2020. 70%, folks. Woo! Woo! That's amazing. Are y'all ready for this? The yards. Introducing the yard total of Deshaun Watson passing last season. 4,800, folks. That's 4,823 yards. He led the league in passing yards. He led the league in passing yards. Absolutely fantastic, folks. Are y'all ready for this? Touchdown to interception ratio, 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, folks. That's 4-1, very, very close to 5-1. Can we talk about respect, baby? This man can absolutely sling the ball, folks. And the Texans are thinking about letting this man just get traded because he doesn't want to be here anymore. Man, oh man, how Aaron Rodgers is looking at this situation and be like, you bastards, y'all are really about to trade him because he made a stink? I made a bigger stink. Aaron Rodgers went on a publicity tour of the stink he was airing. Deshaun Watson had a little peep, was like, hey, I want out of here. And then all the allegations came out and he sunk down. Then he peeped right back up when training camp starts, and they're ready to let this man just get traded. Ready to let this man out of their lives. And whatever team can get Deshaun Watson, you just got to go get him, folks. I mean, it doesn't matter who you have on your team right now. If you don't have Patrick Mahomes on your team right now, you have to try and get Deshaun Watson. It's honestly like that, folks. This man, folks, do y'all not understand what he just did last season with this absolute garbage team overall? Garbage coaching staff, garbage front office, and he still was putting up these godly numbers, folks. Absolutely fantastic. How many rushing yards did he have as well? Because we know this man's a dual threat, and he rushed for another 444. The man broke 5,000 total yards at the quarterback position, and for that, we absolutely are in love with Deshaun mother-loving Watson, folks. Respect the kid, respect the name. Watson is now available to trade, so y'all better be, introducing your best trade packages if you want to go out and get Deshaun Watson. But what is it going to take to get this man? Well, Let's look at Tom Pelissero on Twitter. Blue check mark verified. I think he works for NFL Network. He does work for the NFL Network. This is what he says it's going to take to get Deshaun Watson. Now, once again, if you are standing up, you better sit your ass right down. But here we go. The Texans are willing to listen and have been for some time to trade offers for star quarterback Deshaun Watson. But the price is high for a player of his caliber. Absolutely, it should be. Did you just listen to the stats that we just riffed off real quick? Fantastic, exceptional, magnificent, fantastic. So the price is high. It likely will take at least, that means minimum 3 first-round picks and more. Minimum, folks. Jeez, woof. I mean, he's definitely worth it, folks. He's 100% worth it. I mean, the man's going into his 5th year. He's going into his 5th year, folks, with absolutely magnificent yards, folks. Basically has thrown for 4,000 yards every single season as he was the main starter. Year 1, he only started 6 games, so he only had 1,600 yards, 1,700 yards. But 2018, 4,100 yards, 68% completion percentage, 26 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. All that is still fantastic. 2019, a little bit of a step back, just slightly. 67% completion percentage, 3,800 yards, 26 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. But then that just all gets washed away by what he did last year with just an absolute garbage team. So absolute magnificent quarterback talent Deshaun Watson is, and you really just have to go and get him if you can. If you have all those first round picks that you can trade, if you feel like you have flexibility in your team overall and you're just missing a quarterback, you must go out and steal this man. You must go out and trade for this man. Now that brings us to kind of our last thing to kind of tie this all together is who's going to go out and get this man? Who needs a quarterback, and who is going to try and upgrade their quarterback for Deshaun Watson? So let's quickly take a look at all the quarterbacks here in the league and just see which teams are going to be interest, because Tom Pelissero says the Texans are now listening and have been for some time. So there has been at least some interest for Deshaun Watson, and let's see what potential suitors there are out there for this man. So Seattle, they're going to be sticking with Russell Wilson. We put Russell Wilson right under Deshaun Watson, real solid, and it's not that much of an upgrade, especially when you have Russell Wilson on your team and he has all that kind of history and longevity with your team. You're not going to throw that away for Deshaun Watson. So he's not going to Seattle. The Rams, Sean McVay would probably love to have Deshaun Watson, but he already kind of, made his official decision of Matthew Stafford. And we'll see if Matthew Stafford can live up to all those expectations here with the Rams. The Cardinals, they got Kyler Murray. Once again, Kyler Murray's real solid. How much of an upgrade is Deshaun Watson? It's a good upgrade. Not one that I think a team is willing to do, just because, once again, Kyler Murray already knows the system, and you don't want to kind of take that slight step back. And, with the rebuild, the team is kind of in a win-now mode, and I don't know how much Deshaun Watson adds on top of Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray is still good. The 49ers, yeah, I mean, they should. We know they're 100% done with Jimmy G. I mean, he's already tainted them. The eyes of, the coaching staff, they don't have it anymore for Jimmy G. They're done with you. You got injured multiple times. And Trey Lance, the man's not going to be good, folks. I'm going to put my foot down. Trey Lance is not going to be good in this league. I'm sorry. So, yes, go out and get Deshaun Watson. That instantly makes this NFC West so much. I mean, could you imagine if the NFC West is Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson, Matthew Stafford, and Russell Wilson? I mean, what the hell is going to happen there, folks? Absolute monster division. So 49ers, Kyle Shanahan, you missed on Matthew Stafford. We talked about, how that all happened, and, Kyle Shanahan was out at dinner when Matthew Stafford became kind of available for a quick second. Kyle Shanahan was at dinner and missed it. So, hey, Kyle Shanahan, you should be on the phone 24/7. You cannot miss another great quarterback and let that man slip through your fingers and have to kind of rock with Jimmy G and Trey Lance this season. Go out and get Deshaun Watson. The NFC South, the Saints, I mean, honestly, I like Taysom Hill and I like Jameis Winston a little bit. I go and get Deshaun Watson. I don't care. I don't need to see y'all. Y'all don't even have to have the quarterback competition. We're going with Deshaun Watson. So that'd be real interesting. Do the Saints have that capital? Do they have enough to trade and all that? We'll see. The Bucs, they got Tom Brady. I still bring in Deshaun Watson. I let Tom Brady run his course for the next 2 years, but I want Deshaun Watson after Tom Brady's gone. I don't think the Bucs make a big move for him, but it'd be interesting if they did. The Panthers, yes, absolutely. Matt Rule, swallow your pride. You made the wrong decision by going after Sam Darnold. It's okay. It's okay. You can make up for it and go get Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson instantly makes this Carolina team 1 trillion% better. I don't think they go for him, but I do think that's still another team that should be on the phone at least trying to attempt to acquire the man. The Atlanta Falcons, I mean, could you imagine what Arthur Smith can do with a Deshaun Watson? That could be pretty gosh dang good. And no disrespect to Matt Ryan, but I'm taking Deshaun Watson over Matt Ryan any day of the week. It's no contest, folks. And, you know, with all this kind of great talent, could you imagine Calvin Ridley and Deshaun Watson? Ooh, buddy. And then if you add an explosive running back into the mix, I mean, we're talking about an elite offense. I don't think the Falcons move in that direction. I think they are going to stick with Matt Ryan for at least 1 more year, and then have really kind of Arthur Smith, the new head coach for the Falcons, take true control of the team next year and all the personnel decisions in the kind of quarterback light, in the running back light. All right, Washington football team, absolutely, no question here. I don't think they do it. Ron Rivera doesn't need the big flashy pieces. He doesn't really want the big flashy pieces. So I don't think he goes out and get Deshaun Watson, but I mean, Washington, obviously that makes the team fantastic. The Giants, alrighty, Daniel Jones, we're going to buy into him this year. Obviously, Deshaun Watson's proven talent, so you go and make the trade if you can. But once again, the Giants aren't going to do that. They do feel confident in Daniel Jones, and I think rightfully so. I think this man is going to have a real solid season. The Cowboys, Dak Prescott. I mean, once again, folks, I'm taking Deshaun Watson over really anybody besides Patrick Mahomes. So, obviously, Deshaun Watson's a big upgrade for any of these quarterbacks, but the Cowboys, they just paid Dak. He just came back from the injury. They have no interest. The Eagles, they've got Jalen Hurts. They're not going to move off of him this quickly. The Packers, they got Aaron Rodgers, but you might want to go and try and get Deshaun Watson just because you know Aaron Rodgers is not going to be there next season. But if you bring in Deshaun Watson, I mean, that will just piss off Aaron Rodgers even more, even if it's only for 1 year. He doesn't matter. He doesn't care. And Aaron Rodgers definitely doesn't want another good quarterback in Green Bay that's going to take over for him, because then we're just going to forget about Aaron Rodgers like we kind of forget about Brett Favre because of Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to be forgotten. He really wants the Packers to rock with Jordan Love for the next 10 plus years. The Chicago Bears, man, oh man, I like Justin Fields, folks, but you go and get Deshaun Watson. Matt Nagy, it'd be interesting if he goes and gets Deshaun Watson. I don't think he does, because then he has to swallow his pride on the Andy Dalton pick. Then he would have to swallow his pride again on the Justin Fields pick just to get Deshaun Watson. I think he's going to stick with Justin Fields, and I think that's an all right decision. The Minnesota Vikings, yeah, go out and get him. Please just stop with this Kirk Cousins. He doesn't result into wins. Yes, the defense needs to step up for the Vikings 100%, but at the end of the day, 70% completion percentage on 4,800 yards, I'll take that. Please give me that. The Detroit Lions, please don't try to get him, because I don't want Deshaun Watson to go to another garbage organization under Dan Campbell and once again further ruin this man's career. No. All right, the AFC now. Here we go. The Titans, they got Ryan Tannehill, and yes, Deshaun Watson is an upgrade, but they kind of feel adamant on winning with Ryan Tannehill, at least for this season, maybe next season if it's not getting any better. If, the last 3 years, they just keep going down. 2 years ago, AFC Championship game loss. Last season, I believe the first playoff game loss, and then if they don't even make the playoffs this season, they probably move off of Ryan Tannehill, and by that time, it seems like Deshaun Watson will be gone. The Colts, well, they got Carson Wentz, so they're not going to move off of him. Obviously, Deshaun Watson is an upgrade over Carson Wentz. The man can stay healthy, so that's a big old check mark there. The Texans, that's where he is, and the Jags, they just picked up Trevor Lawrence. The Bills, they got Josh Allen, and that's a close one. We do favor Josh Allen very highly here on the show, and it's Deshaun Watson's a slight upgrade over Josh Allen, but I don't make that trade, honestly, if I'm the Bills. I stick with Josh Allen. The Dolphins, I know this one's a big one going around. I know there's a lot of buzz that the Dolphins are actively trying to trade for Deshaun Watson. This story kind of first came up when we kind of first got a sniff of a little whiff of Deshaun Watson wanting to get out of Houston, and the Dolphins were just instantly in the conversation in the national media. And yes, I do take Deshaun Watson over Tua. I like Tua. I believe in Tua, but I'm taking proven talent when I have the chance. I go out and get Deshaun Watson. It's unfortunate, but I do make that deal. So we'll see if that happens. We'll see if the Dolphins are actually really trying to get Deshaun Watson or if all that is just nonsense. The Patriots, yeah, man. Yeah, screw Cam Newton, screw Mac Jones, go get Deshaun Watson. Bill Belichick, man, you got to try and compete just legacy-wise with Tom Brady. You must win a ring without Tom Brady. He won a ring without you. So however many years in coaching you have left, Billy B, we don't know. But you have to at least get one more ring. So at least we can kind of try and talk about giving you credit over Tom Brady, or at least have that discussion. And it has to obviously be sooner rather than later. Obviously, the more time that passes, the better we can kind of praise Tom Brady over Billy B. But Deshaun Watson can win you a ring now. He can win you a ring now, Billy. Go get him. Go get him. The Jets, they just made their new pick with Zach Wilson. The Steelers, go and get Deshaun Watson next year. You have no future. There is no future quarterback on the Steelers team right now. None of them. Mason Rudolph, Dwayne Haskins, no, they're not it. We know that. We know Big Ben's gone next year. So Deshaun Watson, play under Big Ben for a year. Maybe use Deshaun Watson in the playoffs, fresh and healthy. Big Ben kind of declining a little bit. If it happens, you got your nice backup there. And then you got your next kind of 10-year run in the AFC being competitive with the Ravens and the Chiefs. So that's a real interesting one. Deshaun Watson would probably have to sit this year, though. The Ravens, they got Lamar Jackson. They're not going to move off of him. The Browns, they got Baker Mayfield. It doesn't seem like they'll move off of Baker Mayfield, but, I mean, it's the right decision, too, for Deshaun Watson. The Bengals, they got Joe Burrow. The Chiefs, they have Patty Mahomes. The Raiders have Derek Carr, and Derek Carr is real good. It's a tough decision to make. They don't upgrade him, even though he is an upgrade. The Chargers have Justin Herbert. I don't make that trade. I keep Justin Herbert. And the Broncos, that's another big team. I really think it's going to come down to the Dolphins or the Broncos to get Deshaun Watson, and I think in the end it's going to be the Denver Broncos. And, you know, we do like to root for Teddy Bridgewater. We think he can get it done in the league, but you make the switch. You make the trade. You go out and get Deshaun Watson 1,000% for this Broncos team, and now you're instantly right up there with the Chiefs. With your team, you've got great weapons, offensively, defensively. Head coach seems solid. I think you can win a Super Bowl with this head coach, Vic Fangio, but you need the quarterback. Drew Lock's not leading you to a Super Bowl. Teddy Bridgewater may lead you to the playoffs. A deep playoff run, that's questionable, but Deshaun Watson leads you to the Super Bowl right here, right now. So we'll see which team goes out and get him. We know, they got John Elway in the front office. We know the Broncos didn't take a quarterback in the draft, so they are still actively looking for their starting quarterback. They felt confident going into the season with Drew Lock and Teddy B battling it out. But, when somebody makes themselves available and it's 100% available, you go and make your best dang pitch. And, you would have to give up some third-round picks, but then also giving up, Drew Lock or Teddy Bridgewater in the deal, that's not bad. You do that. So Dolphins, Broncos number one choice. Dolphins potentially up there. I don't think they move off of them. I do think they stick with Tua. But it is a clear upgrade that you really just make that trade. So I would really kind of say it's going to be the Broncos, folks. The Broncos go and get them, but they're going to have to give up a lot for it, folks. 3 first-round picks and more at minimum. So we'll keep an eye on Deshaun Watson. Now that we kind of know he's being forced out, we know that a trade is pretty much going to happen. We'll keep speculating, and all the crumbs and nuggets of information, you'll get those here at Takes by Fans, folks. We are on the prowl for those crumbs. And before we close out this topic, do y'all remember who the backup quarterback is in Houston? Because I do, folks, and it's a great one. It's Tyrod Taylor, baby. Yes, sir. He will get his second chance. So that's kind of the best thing that's going to happen on this Deshaun Watson trade. Tyrod Taylor gets one more crack at it, one more swing at it. He was supposed to play for the Chargers last season, like we know, got injured by his own team medical doctor, punctured his lung, and he was out, and Justin Herbert's legacy already started. So that's also another kind of silver lining here for Deshaun Watson wanting to be out. You get Tyrod Taylor, another solid quarterback at the helm that could be a solid winning quarterback here for this Houston Texans team. Tyrod Taylor can be an above average game manager quarterback that this Texans offense desperately needs because they got pieces everywhere. We just talked about this the other day. David Johnson, Phillip Lindsay, Mark Ingram running back. I mean, holy moly, 3 deep, folks. That's like Colts numbers we're talking about. Then you get Brandon Cooks and Randall Cobb. Once again, really solid wide receiver core there. So they've got nice pieces offensively, and Tyrod Taylor can, be that above average game manager like a Ryan Tannehill, like a Baker Mayfield, and lead this Texans team if they're just good, if they're sound coachingly and defensively. We can maybe buy this Texans team a little bit and give them a couple of wins, 6, 7 wins, 8 wins maybe under Tyrod Taylor. So Deshaun Watson wants to be traded, folks. Watch out for that. That's going to be a big trade, but once again, you have to kind of, take the good with the bad. Yes, the stats of Deshaun Watson are absolutely amazing, but, we have these sexual assault allegations. Now, the good green flag for Deshaun Watson is that they're all civil lawsuits. He's not going to go to jail, but, does he get on a commissioner's exempt list? Does Roger Goodell say, hey, this is a bad image for us. We need to suspend you for the year because of the outcome of these allegations? Yes, you're not going to jail, but you're going to be put in kind of football jail. You can't play. So, once again, going to the Steelers makes sense. You have to sit a year because you get suspended. The Texans were a little adamant in the beginning that they weren't trading Deshaun Watson. Did they get a little whiff, a little smell that, something was going to be handed down from the commissioner? Does the commissioner, Roger Goodell, just say, like, hey, as all this stuff is going through litigation, we don't want you out there and being a kind of a little bit of a black mark for our business. So you're going to sit, because we kind of talked about a couple months ago on the show that there was a long timetable for Deshaun Watson to wrap up the criminal court cases. So he's going to pretty much be out a year because he can't even get to the hearing for a couple of months. Before I don't think he's got a hearing before the season starts. So if Roger Goodell did want to put this man on the commissioner exempt list till it is all kind of said and done, we're talking about a full year before that even really happens. So that could give credence to the Steelers, just playing behind Big Ben, being there next year. That's real solid. So Steelers, I think, is probably the best choice for Deshaun Watson. And then the Broncos probably number 2 because he can play immediately if everything goes good. So we will keep an eye on that. Alrighty, let's move on to this. Browns wide receiver OBJ, non-committal about his return, but says his knee is, quote, feeling great. And we did see a little bit of an early workout of him sprinting very, very quickly on a treadmill, looking real good. Jarvis Landry saying this is the best he's ever seen OBJ, and they go back to college. So that's kind of, a good green flag to go with. And we know this Browns team is right on the door of success. They just really need everybody healthy and, some solid play by their defense and Baker Mayfield, and they will be right at it. And they do have the pieces really everywhere. Offensively, wide receivers, tight ends, running backs, they got deep on deep depth there. Defense is real solid as well. They got Myles Garrett. They just bring in Jadeveon Clowney. I mean, they're going to get it done. So let's see what OBJ is saying here. In this Browns team, folks, they surprised a lot of people last season, and we just expect this team to continue to grow under Kevin Stefanski, the head coach, who we know has the exact way to win overall for what this Browns team is. And we saw that in full force last season when they won 11 games. They won 11? 11-5, fantastic, but still finished third in the division. How crazy is that, folks? Under the Chiefs, under the Steelers, under the Ravens. All right, but let's see what we get here at OBJ. Here we go. Odell Beckham has arrived at training camp amid a long rehab and major Browns hype in past years. Pressed with both circumstances this summer, his perspective is a bit different. The dynamic wide receiver is now focused on the long game. As it concerns his health, he said that could mean not being full go in camp or playing the season opener. Whoa, season opener we're talking about. So let's see what he says. Quote, "At this point, we're just running our race. I feel like in the past, I've been caught up in this question and I'm just not really here for it anymore. It's whenever I'm ready to get out on the field, that's when it will be. Whenever the team, the docs, my team, everything gets cleared, we'll be ready to go. So whenever that is, week 1, week 17, I don't know. It's just whenever we're ready, we'll be ready." So, once again, OBJ kind of keeping a tight lip. We've heard the same thing from Saquon Barkley. We understand, that's kind of, the answer that you have to give. I don't knock it. It's just unfortunate that we can't buy you until we see you. We're not going to get hype around you and say, hey, it's going to be this week he's coming or this week he's coming. All right, it's finally, we can buy into him this week because it's going to be this week coming. If we don't have a firm timetable date set yet, if we don't see you out there in practice, we just have to assume that you're just not ready to go. And that's, okay, you can take your time, rehab, get better, get all that, get right for you. We don't want to kind of force you out here early to kind of get another year-ending injury, and then we're doing all this same thing next season as well. We don't want to hear that. It's just unfortunate we can't buy into this team, this Browns team 100%. We can't buy into this Giants team 100% because 2 core players are keeping, their lips very tightly sealed. And like we said, we're fine with that. It's just unfortunate. We want to see you out there. We want to see the best of the best out there. We want to see you getting better and, doing your thing out there on the field. This is what this show's about. We love celebrating greatness out on the field. And OBJ is greatness out on the field. And Saquon Barkley is greatness out on the field. So we just want to see you. We want to get kind of a firm date that we can, talk about and then, get big on, build up to that date and then see you out there and as explosive as always. So OBJ keeping it very tight here, not doing anything. He says, hey, week 1, week 17, I don't know. Maybe I'm not good to go this year. Maybe I'm not. And that's going to be unfortunate, but maybe that's the case. Waiting for the doctor's clearance and all that. All right, what else do we get here? We get a couple more quotes, so let's keep it going. OBJ is encouraged with how far along he is, although he kept the progress of his knee vague. Quote, "Everything is feeling great. For being at the 8.5, 9-month mark, I'm doing very well in all of our progressions. I can't wait to be back and be able to do some more football stuff. Whenever you see these off seasons and you have to train, you have to do physical therapy for so long, it just starts to weigh down on you. But I'm just excited to be back, excited to see all the boys." The 8th-year veteran is talking like someone who's much more concerned with team objectives than personal ones. He said winning a Super Bowl has driven him most during his latest rehab. Quote, "Most important, it's the only reason. The only reason to do this is to get one of them rings, and we just saw the Bucs ring, and I would do whatever it takes. I would kill, I would murder for one of those Bucs rings, folks. They are absolutely that fantastic. And OBJ now, with all these injuries and, having his kind of best year be his rookie year and, kind of falling off a little bit. I don't know if we can put OBJ in top 5 receiver at the moment. Now OBJ is saying, hey, being the best at your position, it's hard to maintain that. It's hard to kind of, stay healthy for an entire season and play at an elite level for multiple years on end, which we say all the time. He's finally realizing that and is kind of dialing down and really kind of buying into team systems and the overall goal of the team, which is obviously winning the ring. So OBJ having this mindset, we absolutely love it. And, hopefully we can see him out there by week 1. We really want to see him in the preseason, but hopefully we definitely can see him by week 1. So this Browns team is at full force to really see what they're made of and see what they can do with Baker Mayfield, with Kevin Stefanski, with this really elite defense and elite running game. I want to see all the pieces out in full force. All right, last 2 quotes here. Let's read into it. So here we go. Much like the previous offseason, there was murmurs that maybe Beckham didn't want to be in Cleveland any longer. The narrative effectually fizzled after he spent time with Baker Mayfield. The two have sort of a complicated history, with the young quarterback inexplicably performing better without the star wideout at his disposal over 2 seasons as teammates. But the Browns' success last winter without OBJ only made him more confident in their collective future. Quote, I came back for a reason. I feel like we have a special opportunity. I was down in Austin with Bake and seeing him a few times since then, just kicking it, hanging out. It's just something that feels special about this team. As I said, when I first got here, I wanted it to be like the Patriots. You want to win Super Bowls. I watched Cleveland complete last year, and one game that hurt me the most is watching Kansas City and feeling like, man, I know that I could have made one play, just something to help the team win. I think there's something special going on. There's something special with the city. Watching the Bucs win a championship inspires you even more. Cleveland needs a championship, and I think that's the goal. That's the mentality in this building, and that's what I want to be a part of. So everyone's truly kind of buying into winning a ring. 11-5 last year after, we all know the Browns' history over the last 20 years. Absolutely trash. We're moving into this new 17-game era, folks. We really just kind of have to put the last 20 years of the NFL kind of in, the back of our mind a little bit. We're entering a new era. Another added game. Who is going to be able to stay healthy for 17 games and then the playoffs? What are the statistics going to look like for a full 17-game season? We're talking about 5,000 yards. How does completion percentage go down? So we're entering this new era, and who's going to be the team that claims this era, folks? It's up for grabs. If you've got a good team right now, go and seize it. Go and be the new New England Patriots of the last 20 years. Build that big old dynasty in this Browns team fully healthy. You could put them as one of the front runners to kind of claim the next 20-year dynasty in the new 17-game era of the NFL, folks. They have all the pieces, everything that you need to win. They truly have it on their team, and OBJ is one of those great, amazing wide receiver pieces that you can definitely use to build that 20-plus year dynasty, and we'll see if they go out and seize this opportunity. The last 20 years are trash, but the next 20 years, they could be, the sky's the limit, folks. So we'll keep an eye on the Browns and OBJ. A little upset that he's keeping it a little tight-lipped, though. Alrighty, here we go. Let's continue on talking about the Rams. And finally, we get to hear from Matt Stafford. We've been hearing about how great Matt Stafford is from everybody, but now we get his own little perspective from him. That's what we're talking about. So here you go. Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford, quote, we're going to have a successful running game despite Cam Akers' injury. So once again, we kind of, Cam Akers is out for the entire year for the Rams. Truly unfortunate. They got Darrell Henderson still, and then we were kind of looking at their depth chart and seeing, who they're going to have to rely on. So now we can get a little inside to see what Matthew Stafford is saying about kind of the number 2, 3, 4 running back here for this Rams team. So let's see, if he can kind of sell us on these running backs, because we're not big on the running backs. We like Darrell Henderson. We think he's fine. Xavier Jones, we really didn't like. Jake Funk, we didn't really like. Raymond Calais, we feel like has big potential. So let's see what we get here from Matthew Stafford. Is he naming any one running back to get it done? Is he big on Raymond Calais like we are? So let's see if Matthew Stafford can sell us on this Rams running back room to see if we can buy him, because we had this Rams team going to the Super Bowl this season. Our Super Bowl matchup is Rams-Colts, with the Colts winning. Both of those are taking a little bit of a hit here over the last about week of news. Cam Akers being out is big for that Rams team, and we're going to talk about the Colts coming up in a couple of stories, but a little not great going on over there in Indianapolis. But let's get back to this article and see what Matthew Stafford is saying. All right, the reverberations from Cam Akers' torn Achilles. What the heck does reverberations mean? Reverberation. Prolongation of a sound. A continuing effect. A repercussion. Absolutely. All right, so the reverberations from Cam Akers' torn Achilles are still being felt. On the eve of training camp, the Rams running back room is without an established starter, and the roster as a whole is a bit weaker amid Super Bowl expectations. Truly Super Bowl expectations, folks. Matthew Stafford, whose offseason arrival has changed the franchise's complexion most and who will now likely carry a larger load, is more concerned with how Akers' season-ending injury affects the second year back himself. Quote, I think I have a lot of belief and a lot of trust in the guys that we have in that locker room and on the coaching staff to no matter who's back there, we're going to have a successful running game. So we're kind of hearing the same thing from Matthew Stafford from, Sean McVay. Sean McVay was like, hey, we're not going to panic and we're not going to kind of go out and get a free agent running back just quite yet. We're going to see what this running back room has because I think we can buy into it. And Matthew Stafford is kind of saying the same thing here. No matter who's back there, I feel like they're going to step up and get it done. So that's, I don't know how I feel about that. But let's continue on here. Quote, really the biggest gut punch was for the kid. I think it's so difficult. I dealt with injuries my first couple of years. Really throughout your career, you end up doing it here in the NFL. So that one's obviously a tough one and one that's going to take some time. I really feel for him more so than I do at us as a team. I know we'll miss him out there. He's a great player, but just feel bad for him to not get the opportunity to go out there and play the game that I know he loves to play. We'll do everything we can to make him proud. Alrighty, come on, Matthew Stafford. Give us your real kind of thoughts on how these other running backs are looking. Let's see if we can buy into them. What else do we get here? We get another quote, so let's build up to it. Here we go. Akers had not only assumed a starting role last December, but really separated himself on the depth chart. After rushing for 221 yards in the postseason, the 2020 second-round pick looked primed for a start turn in year two. His 2022 return will be eagerly awaited, but his quarterback reminded that the team has to move on for 2021. Quote, really tough to see what happens to a young guy that's a really promising, talented player. Unfortunately, that's kind of the name of the game in the NFL. You hate to see it happen in the offseason when we're playing a game or something. But it's next man up. Those guys are going to battle it out, and I'm sure we'll do whatever we can to make the running game as good as we possibly can. Cam was a really productive player as a young guy last year, and we're just looking for a lot out of them this year. But next man up, we'll go from there. Wish him the best, obviously. So a little disappointed that, we didn't get kind of, Matthew Stafford calling any running back out by name. Oh, I loved what I saw from, Calais or Raymond Calais, in training camp in the OTAs when we were working together. I really think this man, maybe not as good as Cam Akers, but we feel like he can kind of, fill the role or something like that. But we never really got that. Just kind of, referenced them as, next man up and just kind of saying, we'll do whatever we need to do to make the running game a little bit easier. So it's still, nobody's really selling us on any of these Rams running backs. That's why we want the Rams to go out and get kind of Adrian Peterson or Le'Veon Bell to really just shore up this team overall. So like we said, this Rams team, if they go out and get a running back real early on in training camp, that means that they have real no faith in their running back depth. But if they wait till the end of training camp, they feel like they can truly win with the running backs that they have. So we'll see what it's looking like in training camp. We'll see if we get any nice highlights to kind of see which running back is truly taking the full opportunity. They've kind of said that they don't have the starter, so Darrell Henderson, he's still solid, folks. I mean, he was the running back number 1/number 2, number 1 in the first half of the season before Cam Akers got adjusted because he was a rookie last year, and then Cam Akers took over at the back end of the season, and then Darrell Henderson kind of took a backseat to that. So we can kind of assume Darrell Henderson is a starter, but Xavier Jones, Jake Funk, and Raymond Calais, we need one of those three running backs just to be real solid enough to be a number 2, so we can have kind of a running back by committee for this Rams team come this year. But we'll keep an eye on training camp to see which running back is kind of giving it their all and doing what they need to do. Alrighty, let's keep going here, and we get another little highlight from the Cowboys training camp. Is just once again, folks, we are loving everything we are seeing from this Cowboys team ever since they had that introductory kind of press conference to really to really just kind of start training camp. The one where we were getting everybody being humble and everybody looking good. And then we get, an earlier clip of Dak Prescott on the move, on the run, throwing an absolute beautiful ball. And now we get him throwing to Ezekiel Elliott about, I would probably call this one maybe 20 yards down the field. Hard to tell from the angle and everything, but Ezekiel Elliott catching the ball out of the backfield, running actual routes, getting him in kind of a dual threat running back role. We've heard, Ezekiel Elliott feeling like he's in the best shape ever. He's looking real solid out there, looking just real tall and lean. That's what we love to see. So once again, we can buy this Cowboys team, and until Saquon Barkley's back out on the field, we still are going to have this Cowboys team above the Giants in just kind of our overall analysis of that NFC East. So OBJ not being out on the field, it still affects your team a little bit. It affects kind of the outside observers a little bit, because now we're getting all this great tape from the Cowboys, and we can expect the Giants to have great tape when everybody's out there for training camp, but we just haven't seen it yet, so we can't put that much stake, that much stock into it. So Cowboys are looking real gosh dang good still, folks. This could be a good team. This could be good, folks. If Dan Quinn gets on his shit, if Mike McCarthy gets on his shit, this Cowboys team could be real dangerous this year, folks. Watch out for Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott comeback seasons. Alrighty, let's go to this now. Another kind of high-profile player is requesting a trade. This time it's Chandler Jones, kind of edge rusher, linebacker for this Cardinals team that is supposed to be kind of, at one of the best teams overall that they've had collectively, offensive, defensively, and everybody's kind of wanting to leave this team, which is a little concerning. Larry Fitzgerald not really kind of wanting to be back 100%. Why not if this is your best opportunity to win a ring in your last maybe year? And then we get Chandler Jones, who's also really great off the edge. He was injured last year, only played 5 games, and then a pectoral muscle really just kind of hindered his entire season last season. And then we know that this Cardinals team brought in J.J. Watt. So, once again, another pass rusher. So why does Chandler Jones requesting a trade now, right before training camp? Does he not buy into this team? Should we be kind of, selling this team a little bit more? Because everything that we've been seeing, it's a little concerning just optics-wise of players truly not wanting to return for this Cardinals team. So Chandler Jones has requested a trade. The Cardinals are expecting him to still report to camp. So this is kind of maybe a thing where we see Chandler Jones is still there, getting his work in, but is actively seeking a trade, and the Cardinals are actively seeking to trade him. A trade scenario that has kind of popped up on Twitter is, we know Xavier Howard, cornerback for the Dolphins, is, unhappy and he wants to get traded. So this could potentially be a trade straight up, Chandler Jones for Xavier Howard. We know the Cardinals do need kind of another cornerback. Xavier Howard's one of the top 5 in the league. They lost Patrick Peterson. They bring in Malcolm Butler, who we just don't think is the guy. They got Brian Murphy Jr., so definitely Xavier Howard would step in and be the cornerback number 1 here. And then the Dolphins, they could use a little bit of a pass rusher as well. We have defensively, we have Christian Wilkins, who never really popped off that big. Zach Seiler, who's never really that great. We have Jalen Phillips, a rookie, so we kind of get Jordan Phillips to help Jalen Phillips, or what's his name? Chandler Jones help out. Chandler Jones to help out Jalen Phillips, our rookie that we took 8th overall. So we'll see what happens here for the Dolphins and the Cardinals. Obviously, I don't want to see Xavier Howard to leave this Dolphins team. We absolutely love his production. He's a great kind of shutdown corner, and he gets a lot of interceptions, and that leads to points, which leads to wins. So you love to see that. But, yeah, keep an eye on Chandler Jones. Just kind of real interesting that everybody's not 100% sold on this Cardinals team when, looking at it, they've got pieces everywhere, offensively, defensively, but everyone's trying to jump ship a little bit, so a little concerning. Alrighty, now let's move on a little bit here. We have a little bit of a COVID outbreak here in the NFL, and it's just a little unfortunate. Obviously, we don't want this to hinder any season, any player, anything like that, but we're getting a couple outbreaks here early on in training camp. So hopefully it all gets kind of blown out in training camp, and then we're good for the regular season. Hopefully this isn't kind of happening every single week. But the Browns have placed rookie linebacker, our man Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, on the reserve COVID-19 list. Unfortunate. I believe he also is unvaccinated, so that goes with all those protocols of having to kind of quarantine for at least 10 days and all that. So he's going to miss the start of training camp, which is never good, especially for a rookie. We need him to be a real big impact player for this Browns team right off the rip, so he's missing valuable time and reps on the field, so that's a little unfortunate. We also have Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, our number 1 rated linebacker on our big board, so that's going to affect us as well. So come on, gosh dang, because if Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is not up to snuff and not up to speed week 1, and all these other linebackers are being better than him, Zaven Collins, Michael Parsons, Jabril Cox, Nick Bolton, that's just going to make us look like schmucks in the long run. They're like, did y'all see Takes My Fans big board? They had Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah number 1. That man was trash this year. So, come on. Hopefully he's out there as soon as possible. Hopefully it's like a false positive, something like that, so we can get this man back out on the field and get this man right. For, like we said, this is the Browns year, the Browns decade, the Browns kind of era to go get it done. And starting off, not the greatest. Little hiccup. But it didn't just stop with some players out here, because we get this one now, and this is kind of hindering this Colts team, who we predict wins it all and goes 17-0 and is the best team to ever play. But the Colts announced that head coach Frank Reich has tested positive for COVID-19 and is currently in quarantine. Unfortunate. Now, he does have the vaccine, and he still got COVID. Unfortunate, truly. But he should be back a little bit earlier than Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. So, Frank Reich, head coach for this Colts team. Colts, I believe, start tomorrow training camp. I don't think they start on Wednesday. I think they start tomorrow. So this is going to hinder them a little bit when you don't have your main guy to just instill the culture right off the rip. Now, luckily for Frank Reich, a lot of these Colts players are the same from last season, so they already kind of know the deal. Carson Wentz already knows Frank Reich, so it's not going to be that much of kind of hindrance to this Colts team, just a little hiccup. Obviously, we want him back as soon as possible. But then we also get this from the Colts, which is never great. The Colts linebacker Darius Leonard, who's absolutely fantastic, he's going to miss the start of camp after undergoing a small ankle procedure. So that's, once again, not the greatest out here. But, getting right for the start of the season, that's kind of priority number 1. Training camp, just to make sure everybody's on the same page. And the Colts have, a little bit of a luxury with everybody kind of being back and, Frank Reich still being back. The only thing that they really have to install is just the rhythm and the timing for the wide receivers and the running backs and the offensive line with the new quarterback. So that's really the main priority here for this Colts team. So getting everybody healthy, getting everybody on the same page, we're not, that's kind of more important. So, what do we got here? Indianapolis Colts general manager Chris Ballard said linebacker Darius Leonard underwent a small ankle procedure that will sideline him for the beginning of training camp. Once again, why are these players waiting till the last second to undergo these surgeries? Michael Thomas waited till June, July. Why not just do that right at the end of the season? Same thing with Darius Leonard. Why are we waiting right to the start of training camp? Go and get it so you're fresh for the start of training camp. But they call it a small ankle procedure. So hopefully it's nothing too big. And we can expect that man out on the field for week 1, because we need this Colts team to be A1 tier 1 right out of the gate, folks. All right, and then the last thing to talk about, we got some notes here from Steelers training camp. We know they kind of got up to an early start because they are in the Hall of Fame preseason game that starts, the first preseason game of the season. So Albert Breer here on Twitter, he works for, I believe, what does he work for? Senior NFL reporter and lead content strategist for the Monday Morning Quarterback and NBC Sports. So, kind of verified check mark out here. Solid source, we should say. And we're loving all of this, folks. He kind of gives his top 5 takeaways from watching the Steelers training camp so far. And man, oh man, everything that we've wanted to see, everything that we've already been seeing and saying, he's reiterating it kind of 100%. And we are absolutely, folks, we were big on the Steelers team last season, not when, everybody else everybody never really kind of got big on the Steelers. Even when they were undefeated, everyone was still calling them kind of frauds and all that. We never bought into that. They were still a real solid team overall. The injuries defensively and Big Ben's declining arm throwing interceptions really just kind of, made them fall off the last back end of the season. But we were still buying them real early on when they were kind of 4-0, 5-0, getting up into the Steelers team, truly buying into them. And now I think we can truly buy into them. I'm close to buying into the Steelers team 100%, honestly. Big Ben, I believe he's going to be fine. Everything that we've been seeing and hearing, he seems like he's going to be fresh and ready to rock. So I don't think we can really count this Big Ben injury as a big narrative, but we'll kind of see how it goes for training camp. But here we go. These are Albert Breer's main takeaways. Here we go. Number 1. Najee Harris is, all caps, consistently working. Folks, we heard this. We've heard this time and time again. He's like the last one to leave. The running back coaches are like, hey, you got to leave so I can leave because I got plans tonight. That's just how much of a workhorse Najee Harris already is practicing-wise. So watch out for this man in the regular season. He's going to be Rookie of the Year. We can't wait to watch this man play. So Najee Harris is consistently working. Noticeable the time he's spending every down minute with coaches. At 2:30, he's flashing as a receiver too. And that's another big thing that we loved from Najee Harris. Do we have to take you back to the national championship game, folks? Mac Jones throws a way trash ball behind Najee Harris. Najee Harris, about 5-7 yards down the field, has to reach back, twist his body, reach back, catch the ball one-handed. Now he's got 20 yards to the end zone. He regathers himself after, having to really kind of contort his body and throw him off because Mac Jones is throwing trash passes out of the backfield. But Najee Harris with the fantastic one-handed grab and then is able to kind of, juke out the last 2 defenders for the last 20 yards for the touchdown. We know this man can catch as well as run the ball. We love this man. This is why we have Najee Harris as our number 1 running back on our big board above Travis Etienne. That's why we wanted the Dolphins to go and get this man early on with our 2nd pick. Unfortunately, we passed on him, and then the Steelers get him an absolute steal. So he's great, folks. Najee Harris. I really wish I will spoil it a little bit. We don't have Najee Harris on our new set pieces, unfortunate. But we should have, and that's an error on our part, unfortunate. But we know he's going to be great. Can't wait to see that man in action. All right, note number 2 here. Tight end, baby. Y'all know we are big on the tight ends. That is our main narrative. If there's only one narrative that we could watch for the entire year, it's the tight ends. Tight end University. We are big on the tight ends this year, folks. So here we go. Tight end, Pat. I'm going to butcher the last name. We truly apologize. Fairmouth. Pat Fairmouth was a monster Saturday. Catches everything. The rookie's trending towards a real roll. Ooh, a real roll. Let's bring up the Steelers depth chart really quickly. Who's their starter? They still got Eric Ebron. Let's double check this. They still have Eric Ebron, who's also a solid tight end. But what is Pat Fairmouth out here? How tall is this man? Ooh, 6'5". Love it. How tall is Eric Ebron? I think like 6'4"-ish. 6'4", exactly. So great height there. Love it. He's 6'5", 258. Pat Fairmouth. Absolutely great. I don't believe he was invited to Tight End University, though. That's our only knock. A little knock there. But Albert Breer saying that this man was a monster, catching everything. Let's see when this man was drafted. He was a rookie this year, so let's see what round the Steelers took this man in. Pat Fairmouth. All right, he was their second round pick, so real early on. So maybe he did attend tight end university. Let's quickly see. We know Kyle Pitts did. He is a rookie. But let's see if Pat Fairmouth is. Here we go. Got the list up. I bookmarked this page. I love this page. They did invite Eric Ebron, who is the starter. So maybe they didn't invite the tier 2s. I don't really think they were having that many kind of second tier tight ends, just because just the hype around it, everybody really wanted to be, and they had to kind of cut people. They couldn't invite everybody, as we know. And it does not appear Pat Fairmouth has been at tight end university, but Eric Ebron has, so hopefully he's learning from Eric Ebron, and who learned from all the best. So we're still big on the tight ends here, folks, and the Steelers have 2 great ones. Cannot wait. All right, here we go. Number 3, takeaway number 3. Obviously, the big question is the offensive line and the rookies. Dana Moore and Kendrick Green could well wind up being the answer at center and left tackle. So once again, buying into the offensive line. We know they have 4 new offensive line pieces here this season that they have to kind of get worked and figured out. But Albert Breer is saying that Dan Moore and Kendrick Green could kind of, fit that group and be the main starters, because we need Najee Harris to be a great runner and we need Big Ben to be protected. So this offensive line is truly going to be the true hinging piece on whether this Steelers team is good, great, trash, bad, awful, mediocre, average. It's all really going to come down to the offensive line. The pieces are there. Takeaway number 4, corners, another spot to be sorted out, but Cam Sutton's inside-out versatility will help with Antonio Brooks and Arthur Mullet fighting for snaps. So the defense being absolutely better. Love hearing that. And then number 5, the Steelers are taking a swing at getting TJ Watt extended before the season starts. If I had to guess, I think it gets done because it's far and away the biggest piece of business they've got this summer. So making your defense happy. Once again, they did lose a couple of defensive pieces. Bud Dupree, a big defensive piece that they are kind of missing this year, but everybody else is kind of still there. TJ Watt, one of the best pass rushers in the game, a force on the defensive line, and if you pay him, make him happy, and that could just be the answer here to tie everything in together defensively. So big, great takeaways, great hearing from the first kind of a couple of days to start the Steelers training camp, and everything's kind of going on without a hitch, and people are making the plays and making themselves known and putting it all together, put the work in, and now it's just collectively as a team getting it done, what is working, what is not, and making sure everything that is working consistently, that they can put it together for the entire NFL season. So we're very close, folks. I think I'm like 90% on the Steelers team, folks. Maybe even 95. We'd like to see Big Ben a little bit more, and then put him up to 100, because I know Najee Harris in the offensive line should be fine. So watch out for the Steelers, folks. Bigly interested to see how they do. All right, those were all the stories that we needed to go over for today. So let's head over and open up a couple of card packs out here. The new Paninis just dropped today, the NFT blockchains, and we were able to score some. We got 10 packs, baby, the max you can buy, and they sold out in 2 minutes. So we were able and lucky enough to get these packs. Absolutely fantastic. Now, not sure how many of these packs we are going to open. Would like to... Oh, and look at this. The blue prisms do drop tomorrow. How much are these? Oh, my God! We don't... Oh, my God. I was not expecting those to be this high. We will not be buying these blue circle parallel packs tomorrow. Jeez Louise. They are $99 a pack. Screw that. We are not buying this at all. You get 2 blue prism cards and 6 base cards per pack. Yes, we are not going into those. Jeez Louise. Yeah, but back to this. We are not truly sure how many of these packs we are going to be opening. We know that, you can start auctioning off the packs very shortly. I want to say probably in the next 2 weeks. And I'm really interested to see how much unopened packs go for, but we're looking for something good. If we get something good, we'll probably stop. If not, we'll probably open 8. If we open up something really good, maybe only 5. So we'll take it pack by pack. But these are the packs that we are going to be opening. The NBA Noir Sneaker Spotlight. And, I mean, this is, what we're looking for, folks. We can't get this LeBron card because they are doing another kind of challenge where you have to collect 10 cards to get the exclusive LeBron James sneaker card. But these are, what we're looking for out here. We get Chris Webber. He's in the challenge, so we're looking for a Chris Webber card, a Carmelo Anthony card, Chris Paul, Donovan Mitchell, and Tracy McGrady. Obviously, those will sell the quickest just because they're part of the set, part of the collection to get the LeBron card. Any other card, a Giannis sneaker card should be fine. A Luka Doncic sneaker card should be real solid as well. LaMelo sneaker card, if there is one, should be good as well. So that's kind of these cards that we're looking for in the sneaker spotlight to complete the challenge. So let's just jump right into it and start opening some of these cards, folks. We'll take it pack by pack and see how many we end up opening. Now, there is one sneaker card and 2 base cards in these packs. So obviously for the sneaker card, we're looking for one of the challenge cards. And then for the base cards, a LaMelo, a Luka Doncic, any number 1 card out of $17.99 is going to be great. So let's see if we can hit on a base card as well of getting a great sneaker card. So let's start here with the base cards. Base card number 1 up. What do we get? A Tim Duncan. Alrighty. Solid number 388 out of $17.99. And then our second base card, we get Tyrese Halliburton. Real great number here, folks. 6 out of $17.99 for the rookie, baby. That's a pretty solid pull, I'm not going to lie. Number 6. Jeez Louise. Love that. All right, our first sneaker spotlight card. Here we go. Card number 1. Oh, Luka Doncic, baby. That's what we're talking about. Look at these shoes that he's rocking here. Absolutely magnificent. And this is a 143 out of 500. So hitting a Luka right off the rip, I'm all about that, baby. In the Olympics right now, Slovenia? Oh, my God. He's absolutely murdering it. He's way better than Team USA. The man dropped like 44 himself the other night. Fantastic. All right, real solid pull right there. I'm loving it. Maybe we won't open up all of our packs, but we'll still open a couple of more. So let's open up pack number 2 here. We'll probably do 5. If we get another good one, we'll probably stop at 5. So here we go. Pack number 2. Let's see what we get. I still can't believe those blue circles dropping tomorrow are $100 a pack. Jeez. All right, here we go. Base card number 1 of pack number 2. Domantas Sabonis. $7.98 out of $17.99, not the greatest. In our base card number 2, we got Patrick Williams, rookie card, and trash number 1342 out of $17.99. Alrighty, but our sneaker card number 2, what are we pulling here? Oh, a LeBron James sneaker card, 84 out of 500. And look at this LeBron James. Ooh, all-star sneakers looking gosh damn great, folks. Oh, we're getting some great pulls right off the rip. Oh, I love it. Unfortunately, now we probably won't be opening all these packs. I apologize. But we got a couple more. We'll do 3 more, folks. 2 great pulls so far, and we'll do 3 more. Here we go. Let's see if we can keep the action going here. Keep the great polls coming. Alrighty, here we go. Base card number 1 of pack number 3. What do we got? Bismack Biyombo. 16 out of 17.99, trash. In our second base card here, Maxi Kleber, trash as well. 13.80 out of 17.99, really bad pulls there. But can the sneaker card, the sneaker spotlight make up for? What do we got? I want a Giannis shoe now. Give me a Giannis shoe. Finals MVP shoe, yes sir. Let's see what we get. Sneaker card number 3, and we get a Tim Duncan shoe card. Okay. 70 out of 500. Once again, another great number card here. We're getting some solid pulls out here, folks. These are really solid. Love it. Alrighty, let's go to pack number 4. Get that off. Get that opened up. What sneaker awaits us in pack number 4 here? I'm loving that LeBron card. Those shoes were fantastic, folks. All right, here we go. Base card number 1 of pack number 4. Here we go. What do we get? DeAndre Bembry. Alrighty, not the greatest. 1077 out of 1799, trash number. And our second base card of pack number 4. We get Emmanuel Quickly rookie card. And a trash number, 1371 out of 1799. And Emmanuel Quickly let us down a little bit last season. Wish he had a little bit better production overall. Unfortunate. Alrighty, sneaker card number 4. Come on. Something good, something great. What do we get? Here we go. Oh, Steph Curry, Warrior shoes. Give us those clean. Look at that. I can do all things. Oh, and it's even got some writing on the sneaker. That's a great card right there. And we get a solid number, 145 out of 500. This is looking real great, folks. These are some great shoe pulls. I'm loving it. All right, we'll do one more, folks. One more pack. Let's see. Come on, something great in this pack. We've got 4 real good shoes. Let's see if we can make it a 5th, go 5 for 5. But here we go. Let's get these bases out of the way first. Base card number 1 of pack number 5. We get Enes Kanter. I'm a big Enes Kanter fan, but not a fan of 1150 out of 1799. Give me the number 1. And our last base card to pull here, we got Bradley Beal. Gonna get traded this year. Not a great number, 882 out of 1799. Alrighty. But we get one last final sneaker card pull. Give me a Giannis. Give me a Kobe if there is one. Give us something mother-loving good here. Here we go. Final sneaker pull, folks. Here we go. Another Timmy D. Dang it. Oh, but a great number, and that's how you leave off number 10 out of 500. That's what we're talking about, baby. Folks, we've been pulling some real solid numbers here in these kind of card inserts. Obviously not the base cards, but we hit a number 8 Jokic. We hit a number 10 Tim Duncan, and we hit a number, number 4 Paul George in the Don Russ Marvels. So we've been real solid out here, folks. Gosh dang. But yeah, great cards here. Absolutely great cards. Tim Duncan is not part of the collection, correct? I don't think we pulled any collection cards. We did not. But still real great cards that we pulled. Chris Webber, Carmelo Anthony, Chris Paul, Donovan Mitchell, and Trace McGrady. Those were the challenge cards. But we got great cards. I'll take a LeBron shoe. I'll take a Luka shoe. I'll take a Steph shoe. Give me those. Then the challenge cards. Love it. So let's take another quick peek out here on these shoe cards. Let's look at the back of them. What's the back looking like? Anything good? Solid. Tim Duncan. That doesn't even look like Tim Duncan, though. Like, I know that is Tim Duncan, but that doesn't even look like that, man. So solid Timmy D shoe. Green shoe right there. Here we go. These Steph Curry ones are real solid. I mean, all that white, too, making the card pop even more. You love to see that. Tim Duncan again. Another green shoe. So we got a 70 and a 10. Real solid, folks. Real solid pulls. All right. The LeBrons, though. The LeBrons, 84 out of 500. Once again, real solid numbers here. Really all in the top 100. So, you know, ours should sell first. Should. What's the back looking like of this LeBron card? Solid as well. Those shoes, man. Got to give it up. All right. And then the last card here that we pulled. The Luka. 143 out of 500. Luka is the man. We all know this. So, some real solid pulls there. We probably are going to keep these other packs sealed. Just since we hit some solid pulls. We got 5 Noirs unopened, and we do have 7 base card packs unopened as well. Seeing what these will hit for in the auction market. So yeah, that's our card pulls for today, folks. Thanks for watching that. And if you enjoyed, let us know so we can keep buying more. Do we buy the 100 packs tomorrow? Do we buy the $100 packs tomorrow? Absolutely not, but maybe. But definitely not. So that's our cards for today, folks. Alrighty, let's head over and continue on with our training camp narratives. We got 3 divisions to go to by training camp that starts tomorrow. So let's just jump right into it with the AFC East, which we've left off on. And the first one up is the Buffalo Bills, folks. What do we look for with the Bills? Really, the only main thing. Josh Allen, fluke year, or this is the man? What do we get? No crowd noise last year helping him out, or is this man the real deal? So really, all we have to watch for is Josh Allen. Big question mark. Year 3 fluke, or the real deal? I mean, that's all I have to watch for this Bills team. Because they're already great. everything's real solid over there. Their running backs is obviously not great. That's another narrative I guess we could watch for. I don't see them going out and getting a free agent running back. They don't need the noise of Le'Veon Bell. I don't think Adrian Peterson truly brings anything to this team. And you don't really trust Todd Gurley with the arthritis in the knees. So I don't really think the Bills go after a running back. But, I mean, that will really kind of tell us where they are. If they do go out and get a running back, they don't trust Devin Singletary. So, Josh Allen, year 3 fluke, or is he the real deal? And then do they go out and get a running back free agent? Just something else. I mean, the only thing I really care about is Josh Allen, honestly. Like I said, I think this man can still do the same things that he did last year. I don't see him taking a step back, but just what he did, the bar was just set so high by him last season that it's going to be hard to, be better than that. 69% completion percentage, 4,300 yards. Was it 46? Because that it could be 46. Let's get another check on these stats here. 4,500. So once again, real great. 3-1 touchdown interception ratio. So the bar was just set so high last season that it's going to be hard to get better than that. But we believe Josh can. So that's our big Bills narrative. That's the only thing I need to see from the man. From the team, really, overall. All right, the Dolphins. Alrighty. Obviously, Tua. Want to see him get better. I believe he will get better. I don't really think I have to worry about him. But is this man the real deal? Can this man step it up and have a real solid year 2? Because he's got to be way better than he was last year. And we really think the only reason why he wasn't better than he was last year was because Chan Gailey and the play calling and the overall weapons just was not anything near good winning, consistent winning team play at all. So Tua Tagovailoa, obviously a question mark there. We love the accuracy. But we need moving, scoring drives. We believe he can get it done. Also, the Dolphins running back. I mean, we could trade Xavier Howard, and I don't know if Chandler Jones is the best one to trade for. I think we got to try and get a running back somewhere. Go out and get a running back. Myles Gaskin is just not it, folks. He's just not it. I really wanted us to draft Najee Harris in the draft, but we went a different route on the defensive end of the ball. So, what do the Dolphins do at running back? Free agent. Le'Veon Bell, I think, could help the team a little bit. And Adrian Peterson, I don't really know. We really just need a premier A1, tier 1 running back. And, Le'Veon Bell, he could be that. Obviously, coming off of, being a free agent and not getting a lot of burn last season, he could not be, 100% or, the best of his ability. But overall, his production that he can, his upside, his ceiling is still pretty solid. So, I would kind of take a Le'Veon Bell on the team, or do we go out and do a trade? We know the Colts have 3 deep. I would take any of them over Myles Gaskin. And what was the other team that we just read has 3 great ones? The Texans. Maybe we kind of do a deal with the Texans again, since we love dealing with the Texans and robbing them. We can get a Mark Ingram. We can get a Phillip Lindsay, David Johnson. Maybe they even trade him. So, or do we trade? What else do we have to watch for? Obviously, Xavier Howard. That's a narrative. Does he show up? Do we trade him? Don't want to trade him, but that kind of, if we do trade him, we could get a running back potentially there. So that's really what we got to watch out for. And then Jalen Waddle, obviously, our rookie wide receiver. We have him ranked number 3rd. Is he our number 3 wide receiver on our big board? He is our number 3. We have Devontae Smith and Jamar Chase above Jalen Waddle. Do like Devontae Smith a little bit better, but we'll see if he kind of proves me wrong. We'll see. So Jalen Waddle, how's he looking? And that's really it, what we got for the Dolphins, folks. Obviously, the big names, the big stories. Tua, running back potentially, Xavier Howard, Jalen Waddle. We'll see how they're all working and what we trade, if we trade. Alrighty, the next team up is the Patriots. Alrighty. Obviously, the quarterback battle, that's kind of, narrative number 1. Is Cam Newton that good to beat Mac Jones? Is Mac Jones even good? Because if you win the starting job, you got to be at least a little decent. We don't really buy Mac Jones that much, but if you win the starting job, I'll give him credit, and we'll start to buy into him a little bit. We'll take it slowly but surely, but we will start to buy into him if he can beat out Cam Newton. So, quarterback battle. Newton year 2. And Mac Jones, rookie. How are all they looking? What else do we got to watch out for? Their tight ends, they got an abundance. Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry looking real solid. Should have some solid tight end production out there. Representing tight end university well. Billy B. How's the team he's coaching looking without Tom Brady? Because we're going to give Bill Belichick one pass. He has a pass for last season. The COVID year, you don't have a franchise quarterback. It makes it hard to win in this league. But you had your chance. You had your chance to draft a quarterback. You went with Mac Jones. You had a chance to try to, wheel and deal for a quarterback. You didn't. You stuck with Cam Newton. You have an entire offseason training camp in person. Bill Belichick, you have to be at the top of your game again. We can't have you floundering without Tom Brady. That's going to have a big black mark on your resume. So, Bill Belichick, how is he coaching without Tommy B? All right, what else do we got to watch for in this kind of Patriots training camp? We don't really have to worry about Stephon Gilmore. He's there, and he's going to play when he's ready, so I'm not really going to write that off as a narrative. Their running back, the running backs here in the NFC East are just absolute dumpster, folks. Are they still rocking with Sony Michel? They still got Sony Michel? Let's see. Let's get up their depth chart really quickly. This is in a new tab. I don't know why I opened like that, but here we go. All right. They got Damian Harrison, Sony Michel. So once again, maybe the best running backs in the NFC East, but that's not really that hard to do. So let's see what the Patriots do with the running back position. If they try and, once again, get a free agent, do they trade for one? We'll see what the Patriots do. All right, then the last team in the AFC East that we got to cover is the Jets. What's the big narrative we got to watch for? Robert Saleh. He's kind of been impressing us slightly. Everything that we've been hearing about him so far as a head coach, we're not 100% bought into him, but we're slowly getting there. So Robert Saleh, can he coach? It's been yet to be seen, folks. First-time head coach, quarterbacks, tight ends coach, defensive coordinator, all that. But kind of, a big kind of, muscle head that, energizes a team by just kind of going Hulk mode a little bit, which, isn't a bad thing. We just don't think it's the head coach position to do so. Defensive coordinator, absolutely. Tight ends coach, absolutely. I love it. Not the head coach, but he's been winning us over a little bit so far. Zach Wilson, big question mark on him. This man went, what was he, the second quarterback taken overall? Is he number 2? He was number 2. Trevor Lawrence, number 1. Zach Wilson, number 2. So that's kind of big pressure on him. Big pressure, number 2. Taken. How is he looking? Is that it? Is that all we have to watch for the Jets? The coach and the quarterback? Because the coach and the quarterback have just been absolute trash for the last 6 years. Todd Bowles with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold with Adam Gase, just absolutely trash. That's really all we got to watch for this Jets team, folks. Robert Saleh and Zach Wilson, can they both get it done? Now, did they go and get a running back as well? They get a running back in this draft? Or was it just offensive lineman second round to protect Zach Wilson? Let's take another quick look here. They went and got Michael Carter from UNC. So that's going to be something else to watch. Can Michael Carter be a top 10 running back? Because I'm not loving it. We didn't really love it. He didn't really pop on the screen when we were watching his college stuff to get us ready for the draft. We never really bought into Michael Carter. We have him number 4. Yeah, we have him number 4 on a running back's big board. It's Najee Harris and Travis Etienne, then a big drop between Javonte Williams and Michael Carter. But, we have Michael Carter the last ranked. So we'll give Michael Carter a little bit of a spotlight here in training camp. Can he be a top 10? really don't see a path for him to be top 5. It'd be real tough. He'd have to, come out and explode on the scene, and I don't think he's going to do that. But top 10, maybe I can give him. So we'll see how he does. All right, so our narratives in the NFC East, the Bills, Josh Allen, year 3 fluke, or is he the real deal? And do they go out and get a running back free agent? The Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa, how is he looking? We love the accuracy, but he needs more scoring drives and moving the ball down the field, and we think he can do that with the pieces and the new offensive coordinators. What do the Dolphins do at running back? Free agent, or do we kind of, trade Xavier Howard to get a running back? And then Jalen Waddle, how is he looking? The Patriots, quarterback battle, Newton year 2 or Mack rookie, folks? Which one are they going to go with? Tight end university representing here with 2 solid tight ends. How do they go with that? And then Billy B, how's the coaching looking without Tommy B year 2? Then for the Jets, we got Robert Saleh. Can he coach? Zach Wilson, big pressure being the number 2 quarterback taken. He's got to step up. And can Michael Carter be a top 10 running back? Alrighty, next division up here is the AFC North. Steelers, Ravens, Browns, Bengals. Let's start here with the Steelers. Alrighty, folks. Y'all already know the deal here. Offensive line. It's a Franken line right now, folks. Putting pieces together, trying to figure it out. Offensive line's a question mark. Najee Harris. We know he's going to be great. Just how great? I mean, are we talking greatest of all time year 1? Or just, second greatest of all time? It's either going to be one of those two, folks. He's going to be fantastic. Big Ben. How's the arm hold up? We're not too worried about it in training camp, but, if it starts to show, if it shows any sort of decline, that's a big red flag. But we don't think it's going to be, but it's still something that we need to watch out for. So how's the arm feeling? What else do we get? Defense, can it stay healthy? We got to see the defense be back to work. And that's about it, folks. Offensive line, Big Ben, Najee Harris, defense being healthy. Everything else, we're really not too worried about. Matt Canada, I guess, new offensive coordinator. Matt Canada, we love what we've been hearing so far. But can he go out and get it done on the field? Alrighty. Now the next team up, the Ravens. The mother-loving Ravens. Alrighty, well, it's going to be the deep ball of Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, deep ball. I want to see it every single practice, 50 times every single practice. I want to see the deep ball. I believe he can make it, folks. I don't think it's, any problem with Lamar Jackson's ability to get the ball deep. They just never had the receivers. And the offensive coordinator last year never called the plays. Now they have the new offensive coordinator. Now they have the weapons to do so. Or no, they don't have the new offensive coordinator, but they have the... Let me bring this up. But they have just the new pieces to do so and kind of this thinking to get the deep ball going. Greg Roman last year. I believe it's still Greg Roman. I don't think they got rid of him. Yeah, they still got him. So he just knows now we have the deep ball presence. We have the weapons to do the deep ball. Not doing the deep ball didn't work last year, so we have to do the deep ball this year. So everything's lining up for the deep ball to finally emerge here for the Baltimore Ravens, and we desperately need to see that. So Ravens, deep ball, need to see 100 times every practice. How does kind of J.K. Dobbins? I don't really think this is going to be a big running back by committee anymore. They lose Mark Ingram. It will be kind of a 2-back rotation now, and we'll see how many reps Gus Edwards gets, or if they're just going to rely heavily on only J.K. Dobbins. So the running game. And can J.K. Dobbins be the premier workhorse running back? Sammy Watkins. Can that man return to prime form? He had like 1 year of prime his rookie year, and that was it. Fallen off ever since then. So can he return to prime rookie year? Because they need him on the deep ball. That's really kind of their only option on the deep ball. So if the deep ball is working, Sammy Watkins should be working too. And that's what we're watching for the Ravens. And then the next team, the Browns. Really, the only thing we have to worry about is Kevin Stefanski changing up the offense, but not changing it up too much that the team isn't going to be able to execute as well as they did last year. So really, all we're watching for this Browns team is just a year 2 growth. That's it by everybody. Baker Mayfield, year 2 under Kevin Stefanski. Kevin Stefanski, year 2 under himself. Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, year 2 under Kevin Stefanski, under Baker Mayfield, under both each other, having fantastic years. Jarvis Landry, fantastic. OBJ, fantastic. The year 2 collective offensive leap. It was great last year, folks. Everything was great for this Browns offense last year. I love what Baker Mayfield did. I love what the weapons did. And I absolutely love what Kevin Stefanski did. So we need to see this collective year 2 offensive leap for the Browns. And that's really it. The defense should still be solid. Jadeveon Clowney, how is he fitting in? I'm sure it's going to be fine. I don't think we're going to have any doubts about that. So, yeah, the only thing we got to see about the Browns is that offensive leap, folks, collective. It's everybody. It's everybody. It's so good. It's so good. It's deep. It's good. All right, and then the Bengals, the last team to talk about here. What are we watching for the Bengals? Obviously, Joe Burrow, year 2 after the injury. How does that help? How does he come back off of that? What's going to be their identity? Are they going to start winning games? I mean, are we just going to go back to, well, now we have to count this as Joe Burrow's rookie year, since his rookie year last season got kind of interrupted. It did get kind of interrupted late in the season. It was about week 10-ish that it happened. But what's going to be this Bengals identity? Are they going to be moving forward, or are they already kind of implementing a little bit of a slight step back because of that injury overall at your main franchise player? So what is their identity? Moving forward in wins, or taking a slight step back because of the injury? Is that it for the Bengals? Is that all I'm looking for? Is that all I really care about for this Bengals team? I think so. Honestly, I mean, they're the worst team to talk about in the division just because they're not there yet. We're not calling this Bengals team Super Bowl contenders, not even close. But I guess Jamar Chase, obviously, we'll see. They've got really nothing great on this team. They've really got nothing great. It's really just going to be the culture and the identity that they have to kind of work with now. So those are our narratives for the NFC North, folks. The Steelers, the offensive line, how is it going to hold up? Najee Harris, just how great is he going to be? Because we know he's going to be at least great. Are we talking greatest of all time? Are we talking greatest of greats? I mean, just shocking, jaw-dropping season. How far is it going to go? Big Ben, how's the arm feeling? Defense, now that it's back at full strength and healthy, how does it hold up? And Matt Canada, can he get it done on the field offensively? Because we know the schemes for the offense coordinator are there. Just have to put the plan into action. The Ravens, Lamar Jackson, deep ball. We need to see it 100 times every practice. The running game. And can J.K. Dobbins be the premier workhorse running back? Sammy Watkins, prime. Can he return to his prime form? Rookie year, getting it done, being the main man, being the deep threat. Let's see. Browns, we just need that collective year 2 offensive leap. And then for the Bengals, Joe Burrow after the injury. And then what's the identity of the team moving forward? You trying to go better in wins? Or are we taking a little bit of a slight step back, getting everybody acclimated to this Bengals way of just kind of doing things? Is this another setup year because their setup year got cut short? And now you bring in a rookie wide receiver that Joe Burrow is familiar with. Let's just get everybody back on the same page and move forward next season when we're all healthy and have this kind of first year under our belt. Alrighty, the last division to talk about, the AFC West, folks, and then we will have completed all of our narratives right in time. You love to see it. So here we go, starting with the Chiefs. Woof, Chiefs. Woof, 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 woof. Alrighty, y'all already know the first topic up, folks. Come on, the tight ends. Travis Kelce. Hopefully, his head hasn't grown too much. I mean, him and George Kittle have kind of cemented themselves as the best tight ends in the league currently. That's why they started Tight End University. That's why they were 2 of the 3 to start it. Greg Olsen, the third to start the Tight End University, but he's retired. You can kind of brag about yourself a little bit more when you're retired. So Travis Kelce, hopefully his head hasn't grown too much. Still down to earth on the field, still getting great production on the field. Let's see if he can kind of be the leading receiver here for the Chiefs like he was last season. What else do we have to worry about here in training camp? The hunger. Are they still hungry to go out and win it? They've had great success these last 2 years. Obviously, a big underwhelming performance in the Super Bowl. They've been talking that they're still hungry and, humble and want to get after it and want to switch it up. But are we seeing that on the field? We'll see. It's hard to maintain top level of your position of a team for more than a couple of seasons. 4 years is really kind of a max that we're seeing. And this Chiefs team is kind of going into year 4-ish. If you want to count the AFC Championship game as kind of year 1, then the Super Bowl year 2, the Super Bowl win year 2, Super Bowl loss year 3, this year 4, or do you want to start it as Super Bowl win was year 1, Super Bowl loss was year 2, this is year 3. It's however you want to calculate it. We're getting in the back end of that solid 4-year stretch. So is this Chiefs team a true dynasty? I mean, more than 4 years? More than the average of 4 years. That's really what you get, folks. I mean, when we're talking about player, team, it's about a 4-year stretch. That's why, everything that the Patriots have done is just, mind-blowing, unwritten rules that they're breaking written rules and unwriting their own rules and writing their own rules and taking rules and just making it look like nonsense in the grand scheme of things. The Patriots have done that. Tom Brady have done that. But when you just look at it, the Legion of Boom days, Big Ben with the Steelers, Drew Brees with the Saints. Yes, they've always been real solid, but I mean, when we're talking about like Super Bowl windows and getting to the championship games and just being at the top, it's about a 4-year stretch. And Big Ben had about 2. Drew Brees had about kind of 2 4-year stretches as well, but we're getting to that kind of first 4-year stretch of Patrick Mahomes. Is he going to extend it to a 5-6-year stretch? Is this his first 4-year stretch, and then we get a couple of lull seasons? He'll be back in another 4-year stretch a couple of years later. It's just this overall team's Chiefs dynasty. How hungry is it? We'll see in training camp. And that's really about it. Don't have to worry about Patrick Mahomes. I'm sure he'll be great. Coming off the injury, I'm sure he'll be fine. Tyreek Hill. Let's write this, because I kind of have Tyreek Hill as our number 1 wide receiver in the league, but the Madden rankings just came out. Everybody that got pulled in the players and coaches and personnel front office, we kind of read their rankings that they put Devontae Adams wide receiver 1. So let's see if Tyreek Hill, can he reclaim number 1 wide receiver status and continue to grow. Love what that man can do. Alrighty, so those are our Chiefs narratives. Let's go to the next team up, the Raiders. Ooh. This is it, folks. John Gruden, make or break year. Can he coach? It's still in question, folks. We still don't know if John Gruden can coach. 4th year in now. It's put up or shut up. You must get it done, and we'll try to get a nice little behind-the-scenes peek here in training camp. What else do we have to watch for? The defense is just got to be solid. The defense has to be solid. The offense is the best thing here. Defense just has to be solid. Let offense control the games. Defense just has to overall collectively be a game manager. We talk about game managing quarterbacks. There's just got to be game managing defenses. Get them off the field. We don't even need great field position. We don't even need the turnovers. Just get them off the field. We'll worry about our field position. We'll worry about the offense. We'll worry about all the points. You just get them off the field. All right, what else do we have to watch? Obviously, Darren Waller. I mean, we're looking at big things. Can Darren Waller, can he be tight end number 1 in this league? I mean, when we're talking about Travis Kelce and George Kittle, obviously Darren Waller has got to be top 3. Kyle Pitts emerging. He's going to have to fight off him year 1. But can he get to that elite status of George Kittle, Travis Kelce, instantly recognizable, top tight ends in the league for multiple years in a row? Darren Waller, 2 great years the last 2 years, really coming into his own. And now we're talking about a year 3. Once again, that 4-year stretch, Darren Waller's kind of going into a 3rd year. Can he still get it done? Derek Carr, we believe in him, but can he silence the doubters? When you just look at social media and just what people say about this Raiders team in general, they always say it's either Derek Carr can't play or John Gruden can't coach. It's about a 50-50 split on both of those narratives. I don't really buy into the Derek Carr can't play narrative, but can Derek Carr silence his doubters? Because they're all over the place. That this man can't throw. We just looked at his stats, folks. They're absolutely fantastic. We know it. We put the lack of the Raiders' success on John Gruden and not Derek Carr. Alrighty, next team in the AFC West, we got the Chargers. Alrighty. What's the head coach's name? Let me get his name up because he's our focal point here. Chargers head coach, Brandon Staley. That's our man, folks. Brandon Staley. Can he win the close games? Because that's why y'all got rid of the head coach last season. I'm blanking on his name. I apologize. Ugh. How frustrating. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Not going to remember it. But that's why y'all fired the man last season. Because he wasn't winning the close games. They were in the close games. They were always losing by like 3 or less points, 4 or less points. Real unfortunate. So can Brandon Staley, does he make the difference? Justin Herbert, does he pick up where he left off? We believe it. I mean, this man was absolutely flawless down the stretch. Like the last 4 or 5 games, they went undefeated, and Justin Herbert was just slinging the ball around. Absolutely great rookie season. Justin Herbert, can he continue greatest of all time resume? I mean, folks, I'm telling you, we're talking about this man as greatest of all time, potentially. This man can get it done. And that's really the only 2 things we have to worry about the Chargers. The other thing is, do they miss... Nope. I always get these running backs mixed up with this Chargers team just because of the Melvin Gordon thing, but that's really it that we have to watch for this Chargers team. We'll talk about Melvin Gordon in a second with the Broncos, but yeah, Brandon Staley, can he win the close games? And Justin Herbert, can he continue the GOAT resume? And then the last team to cover for our training camp narratives, the Denver Broncos, folks. A lot to talk about here. Quarterback battle, obviously. We believe it's going to be Teddy Bridgewater over Drew Lock. We've already kind of gotten some nice hints of that. We know it's going to go long, but we're loving everything that we're seeing from Teddy Bridgewater. So the quarterback battle of the Broncos. Do they miss Phillip Lindsay at all? I think going with Melvin Gordon was a mistake. So do they miss their main man, Phillip Lindsay, who literally had 2 back-to-back 1,000-yard years in his first 2 seasons? I don't get why you move off of him, but they did. So do they miss him in the running game? Jerry Jeudy. Do we see the year 2 leap? We probably do see that, especially if Teddy Bridgewater is the starting quarterback. We know that, Drew Lock is really not the most accurate passer. We saw, 57% completion percentage last season. Absolutely trash. Can Von Miller stay healthy? That's what we need from this defense. I mean, overall, this Broncos team is really set up for some solid success if they can get the quarterback right. The weapons offensively are real solid. The defense, they've got some nice pieces. We can bring up their depth chart. Obviously, we know they got Jerry Jeudy. I'm not the biggest Melvin Gordon fan, but he's all right. Cortland Sutton, Noah Fant. I mean, they've got the tight end. They're fine there. Then, you got Bradley Chubb and Shelby Harris, and then obviously Von Miller and Kyle Fuller and Kareem Jackson and Justin Simmons and Ronald Darby. I mean, their defense is really solid, folks. This is a nice team overall, but they have to go out and close out games. They have to get the quarterback right, and Phillip Lindsay or Melvin Gordon really just has to be an average game managing running back. We've got to see that. And then Deshaun Watson. We'll put a little question mark here for Deshaun Watson. Do they go out and get him? He's available. We'll see. So, Vic Fangio carrying on another year of him. Let's see if he can get it done for the Broncos this year with the quarterback that he kind of wants a little bit. All right, so those are our kind of narratives for the AFC West. So here we go. Chiefs, Travis Kelce. Hopefully his head hasn't grown too much. Is the Chiefs a dynasty more than the average of 4 years? And can Tyreek Hill reclaim his number one wide receiver status and continue to grow? For the Raiders, John Gruden, it's the make or break year. Can the man coach? Defense has to be solid. Let the offense control the games. And Darren Waller, can he be number one tight end in this league? And then can Derek Carr silence his doubters? The Chargers, Brandon Staley, can he win the close games? Because you brought him in for that reason. Justin Herbert, can he continue his GOAT resume? And then for the Broncos, quarterback battle. Quarterback battle. I want to say Philip Lindsay. I'll do tomorrow's show is just 100% Philip Lindsay, folks. Buckle up. But quarterback battle. Can it be Teddy Bridgewater? We believe so. Can Drew Lock get better? We'll see. Philip Lindsay, do they miss him? I'm sure they do. I miss him already. Jerry Jeudy, do we see a nice year two leap? Which we probably do. And then can Von Miller stay healthy for the defense? And Deshaun Watson? Question mark. Anything there? Anything? So we have gotten our narratives for every single team going into training camp. Love it. All dreams, all of our narratives that we want to watch for, want to look forward to see if we can buy these teams before the start of the season. And we'll be tracking these as training camps open tomorrow, Wednesday, getting into the full swing of the NFL season, folks. Buckle up. It is now here, folks. It has officially arrived. All right, so that's going to do it for us today, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Let's see if anything has broken as we were live. Does not appear so. Does not appear so that's good. Training camp opens up tomorrow. Expect a lot of news coming in hot and heavy throughout the entire week, the entire next week. Aaron Rodgers plans to play for the Packers in 2021. Yeah, we kind of know that. We kind of saw that already. The Last Dance tweet, the legacy needed. He's not going to sit out. Alrighty. So that is going to do it for us today, folks. That is going to do it for us today. We will see you tomorrow, folks. We're back tomorrow, finally doing our team free refreshers, our random team, and we'll take it over from there. But we got all of our training camp narratives done just in time, and that was the main goal. So congratulations to us. Alrighty, folks, we're out of here, and we will see you.